Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Ab. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So God, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rekah Korash. Give honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of great millstone who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready to accept or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Aki pushing this truth and believing this truth toward the four ends of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Agwath who are listening learning. You few sisters who are listening learning. Coming into the lesson of true fact, faith, and edification of daily edification, Lord willing, this be edifying. So this is just a quick hit. So I titled this lesson, whatever was stolen has to be replaced or restored. Thus saith the Lord. Whatever was stolen has to be replaced or restored. Now, history tells us, when we dig into the scriptures, just history alone proves to us that the so-called white man stole everything that he has. When you go into in Kings dealing with Solomon, it tell you that he received every year 666 talents of gold, right? As it tell you in the Bible I got a 1465 King James Bible. It'll tell you that it was over 3 billion that Solomon received every year. That's not what he had. If we want to go into what he was worth, because Solomon, just like the elites today, he controlled all the resources, right? Today, the elites control all the resources, so you can't put a number on what they are worth. And as we mentioned time and time, there's a number on Bill Gates, there's a number on Elon Musk, there's a number on Jeff Bezos, there's a number on Warren Buffett, right? Whoever you can name, dealing with Edomites that we know, that we see, they have a number on them, few billion, right? There isn't any number on the Oppenheimers or the DuPonts or the Gettys or the Rothschilds or the Walls, the Waltons, right? The ones who control the Walmarts. There's not a number when you control the resources. During the time of Solomon, he controlled resources. So there's not a number that you can put on them. But it tell you that he received every year over 3,666 talents. Tell you over 3 billion. So everything that the so-called white man has right now, they stole it. They stole it, man. Everything that the so-called white man has right now today, Wall Street was built off the blood, sweat, and tears, off the backs of so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Free labor. The Lord said in Joel 3, they have cast lots for my people. Okay? During the slave trade, picking cotton, selling cotton, making clothing, that was all free labor. Benjamin and them picking cane, sugar cane, free labor. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Gad, Reuben, Issachar, listen, uh, uh, Naphtali, Ephraim, Manasseh, free labor, okay? Everything the so-called white man has acquired was stolen. Free labor, man. So this is Job 20 and 18. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he should not rejoice therein. Why, Lord? Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor. Who is the poor? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Why, Lord? Because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not. You can read that in Micah 2, verse 1 through 4. He took away people houses, lands, heritages. Okay? This is what the so-called white man did, man, to so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Now I want to make this point. He shall pay back what he have stolen. Again, Job 20:18. That which he labored for, that which he labored for, shall he restore. Who is the he? The Edomites, the so-called white people, and shall not swallow it down, according to his substance. And they own all the resources. So there's no number, there's no limit to the substance of the so-called white man. We talking about the elites. We ain't talking about your everyday grocery store Edomite. I'm talking about them that behind the scenes. According to his substance shall the restitution be. Let's get this word restitution. Restitution, H 8545.
Strong's H 8545. Temurah. Temurah.
It's a barter, compensation, exchange, recompense, restitution. So while Jake is running around here talking about they want what they call it reparations. Listen, man, the real reparations is taking everything that they have. So the root words say to barter, to dispose of, at all, exchange, remove. Remove is to take everything from them. It's a so down here in the Strongs, it's a procure food, buy or import food, move to and fro, right? When it said move to and fro, that means you control import, export. As it say right here, down here in the Strong, it say move to and fro, procure food, buy or import food. Who control the ports? The so-called white man, the elites, right? Let me show you something. Let's read this again. Job 20:18. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, right? Let's go here. Just some points I want to make. Ain't gonna make this too long, Lord willing. In Exodus, let me show you something about when you steal something. When you a thief and you take, thus saith the Lord. Check this out. For those who have never went into this. Exodus 22:1. You see the title? You see the heading? It say property rights. If a man steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox. So for one ox you stole, you got to bring me back 5. And 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. Why? Because he died in the midst of his theft. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he shall make what, Lord? Full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. What does it mean to be sold? Slavery, boy. Put this chain on. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. Right? If the thief be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be of ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. What it tell you in Psalm 60, in Isaiah 60, in Isaiah 61, in Zechariah 3, the Lord said he shall get us praise and fame in the land we was put to shame. In Zechariah 3, right? Zephaniah 3, starting at verse 17 on down to 20. The Lord said he's gonna get us double. So what I'm showing you right now, everything that the so-called white man have acquired here in Babylon the Great and around the world through his last rulership, he gotta give it all back. And I tell you in Job 20. This is Exodus 22 and 5. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, what did it tell you? They take lands, right? It say, of the beast of his own field and of the beast of his own vineyard shall he make restitution. Look at this. Exodus 22 and 6. If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. Hold on. Let's get this. Who burned down the temples? The Edomites. Let's read it. This is First Ezra. This is First Ezra, chapter 4, and verse 45. Thus saith the Lord, and it reads, Thou hast also vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans. So Esau Edom was there when the Babylonians took us down. Again, Exodus 22 and 6. If fire break out and catching thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. Exodus 22 and 8. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass, or an ox, or a sheep, or any beast to keep, and it die, or be hurt, or be driven away, no man seeing it, Then shall an oath of Yahweh be between them both, that he have not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. Let me show you something. In Michael, see what these bastards have done? They got to pay back everything, man. And that's the balance of Yahweh Shema Shah. Micah 2 and 1. Woe to him that devised iniquity, and were evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. And they covet fields and take them by violence. And houses. See, saying they covet fields. This is in the law, what I just read in Exodus 22. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Okay? This is what the so-called white man has done throughout the four corners of the earth. First and foremost, we're so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. I just want to make some points. Now this is Exodus 21 and 16. See the brother got on the comment board. The water. Exodus 21, 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. In Joel chapter 3, verse 1. When it tell you in Isaiah 33 and 1, when he shall cease to do iniquity, then the Lord gonna cause all iniquity to come upon him, man. And when you go to certain places, like you might go to a grocery store, you might have one item. You might be behind some Edomites, and they might say, "That's all you got? Go ahead." It tell you in Job 20, they shall seek to please the poor, man. Listen, no, I'll put this chain on, boy. This is Joel 3 and 1. For behold, in those days, and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat in the Hebrew, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Who scattered us among the nations? The so-called white man. And they have cast lots for my people. What's a lot? Let's get it. What's a lot? Let's look it up. Let's see if they'll give it to us. And they have cast what? Lots for my people. Let's see if it'll give it to us. But we had to go to Google.
Strong's H 1486. Goral. Goral.
Ooh, they gave it to us. Lot, pebbles used for systematically making decisions. Lot, portion, thing assigned by casting lots, recompense, retribution. It's a pebbles used for systematically making decisions. It got a portion of destiny, which is according to the so-called white man. It's a from an unused root meaning to be rough. And was they not rough with us? Yeah, they was. They separated a whole family, man. They sold the wife to one plantation, the father to another, and the children to another plantation, man. Okay? So they have cast lots for the Lord's people. Put us on the auctioning blocks. I got a good buck here, all this teeth. I got a good woman here, all her teeth, healthy. Separate us, the kids. That's called lots. Guess what Wall Street, the first auctioning, the first stock market exchange on Wall Street was so-called Negro Latinos, so like the Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians on auctioning blocks, casting lots, man. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people Israel, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Is that the land of the Lord parted? When you read in Amos 7 and 17, it tells you that our land is divided by line. You got the Israelis and the Palestinians fighting over the land that's not there. That's our land. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. Who did this? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and who? Zidon. Zidon, which is a son of Ham. Okay? Ham had 4 sons. Now, who did this? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and the Africans, the Hamites. Okay? All this have to be paid back, man. They got to pay all this back. So as it said in Exodus 22, everything that this bastard has done to us will be done to them. Let's get this. In Isaiah 33 and 1, it reads, woe to thee that spoilest. Who spoiled us? The Edomites, the Hamites, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. See? So now they're at the point of seeking to please the poor. Yeah. You can't please us with no reparations, man. We want blood, man. Blood, sweat, and tears. The same way North America, Babylon the Great, and all other countries around the world who built your places, so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, we want the same thing and in double. And they got to pay. In Isaiah 14 and 1, just some points I want to make real quick. For the Lord, Yahweh, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined unto them, which is Israelite foreigners scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. And they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. In the house of Israel, all 12 tribes shall possess them, who? All 17 heathen nations, in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow. Who is the thee? 12 tribes of Israel, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and from thy fear, which is in Deuteronomy 28, verse 65 on down to 66, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve Israel. In Jeremiah 50, what is that? Man, it's been a minute. I'm gonna draw a blank just then. Get this. Jeremiah 50 And 33. Thus saith Yahweh host, the children of Israel, the northern kingdom, and the children of Judah, the southern kingdom, were oppressed together, all 12 tribes. And all that took them captives held them fast. Exodus 21:16. He that stealeth a man, they refused to let them go. See? So we are what? Still found in the hand of those that took those captives, man. So the restitution, let's go back to this. The restitution, let's read this. The brother put up, this is Kazak Bunyan Howard, River Precept. Ezekiel 18:12. It's a have oppressed the poor and needy, have spoiled by violence, have not restored the pledge, and have lifted up his eyes to the idols, have committed abominations, have given forth upon usury, and have taken increase, shall he then live? He shall not live. He have done all these abominations. He shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him. Oh, you should have put up. Let me read verse 11. Let's get the point on this. Let's get this. Ezekiel, the water for that precept, brother. Ezekiel 18:11. Let's read this. And it reads. Let's get the point here. This is Ezekiel 18. Let's get all this. I love this chapter because it talks about the Lord. Every soul is the Lord, right? It say, this is Ezekiel 18:5. But if a man be just and do that which is lawful and right, and have not eaten upon the mountain, which is the philosophy, following the philosophers of this of that kingdom, neither have lifted up his eyes to the idols, which is Jesus Christ, Cesare Borgia, of the house of Israel, neither have defiled his neighbor's wife, which committed adultery, neither have come near to a menstruous woman, which is have sex with a woman with her period, and have not oppressed any, but have restored to the debtor his pledge, have spoiled none by violence, have given his bread to the hungry, and have covered the naked with a garment, meaning to teach the people the truth. He that have not given forth upon the usury, neither have taken any increase, that have withdrawn his hand from iniquity, have executed true judgment between man and man. It said, him that is just, have walked in my statutes, and have kept my judgments to deal truly. He is just, he shall surely live, saith Yahweh Bajim shall power. If he beget a son that is a robber, a shedder of blood, and that doeth the like to any one of these things, and that doeth not any of those duties, but even have eaten upon the mountains and defiled his neighbor's wife, which the so-called white man did, have oppressed the poor and needy, which the so-called white man did, have spoiled by violence, which the so-called white man did, have not restored the pledge, which he hasn't, and has lifted up his eyes to the idols, which he done, and he got us doing it, have committed abominations, 7 abominations in their heart. Okay, Proverbs 26, which he has done perfectly, 7 meaning to be perfect, complete. He shall surely die, his blood shall be upon him. See, this the so-called white man has did, man. So everything that was written, this is Kazak Bunyan Howder, he got to pay for it. He got to restore it. Numbers 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood hath defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed by the blood of, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. See? And the precept to that is Habakkuk. It's Habakkuk Rock Hill. What is that? It's Habakkuk. 2 and 12. Who shed the blood? Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Shalak, you must have spelled it wrong. Let me go back. Shalak. Oh yeah, too many. Hold on here. Let me see. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. See? Which is said tell you the same thing in Nahum, right? Let's get this. You got Nahum. Nahum 3 and 1, right? As it reads. Nahum 3 and 1. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Who is the prey? You so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. So just some points I want to make. That Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he got to pay back everything that he had done to you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Meaning that if you got an ear, if you can receive his understanding, listen up. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Isaiah 14:21. For those that's being reactivated, basic precepts, which is not milk, is really meat. Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Closing precept, Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore, all that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, which is 17 nations worth, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee, see, shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore, see, health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, this is the 12 tribes of Israel, whom no man seeketh after. See? They got to pay, man. So let's close with the precept that I started with, Job 20 and 18. It reads, That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down, according to his substance, and they own all the resources, so there's no number on their substance, shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Why? Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. Lord was edifying. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone who were well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the occupants pushing this truth and believing this truth to the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwaf who are listening and learning. You few sisters who are listening and learning. Lord was edifying. Today time I say shalom. Dua for tuning in. Dua for your precepts. May Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Wa Ubaba. Death to Esau Edom, the so-called white man. You will pay back everything that you stole from the so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Thus saith the Lord.